fine. And then I had a problem with Zoom and it just got a bit crazy. So everyone's here, they can hear us, they can see us.
Yeah, it's happening now. So
Okay.
hi, everyone out there in the chat land.
Hello, hello, hello. All right, so I have.
All right, so eclipse energy. Let's get into it.
Yes. All right. So
I don't know. There's a lot of Neptune floating around right now.
I'm not sure if you guys heard it, but I'm going to do it again because what we were talking about totally deserves to be seen. So I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody for pledging as part of my Kickstarter. Yeah. Heather has launched, or is about to launch, an amazing community for all of you wonderful people online. If you haven't subscribed to her channel, please make sure you head over to and hit the subscribe button. Heather, please, again, once more, give us a little shout out to what is this amazing community that you've created and where can we find it?
So my cosmic community, it's actually already open. And so you can join whenever you want. And it's basically a community space where we can gather with like-minded people who are interested in astrology. I'm offering a lot of exclusive content. My 2021 video forecasts are on there only. So if you want those, you have to you have to pop on over to the community. And Raphael will be in there later. I'm going to send him a link. So you can chat with him in the chats too. But we're going to be doing the first live new moon gathering on Saturday, which is tomorrow at noon Mountain Standard Time here in the US. I chose that time because everywhere in the world you can pretty much attend if you want to. And we're going to be diving deep into setting our intentions and setting goals and planning for the month ahead, and really doing that with a community of people to support us. I'll be bringing in some woo-woo that I don't normally do on my channel, so we'll be getting into it there. So I hope to see some of you guys there. But yeah, let's get into what's going on for the eclipse here and now.
Amazing. Right. So the eclipse, obviously we have an eclipse on the 14th in Sagittarius coming up. One of the things that I noticed about it was it falls on the 14th. So obviously 1 and 4 gives you 5. The eclipse point itself is going to be at 23 degrees of Sag. So we've got another 5 there. And 5 energy is all about change. Sometimes it can be about upheaval. I'm guessing a bit of that is probably rubbed off on this Zoom session. So yeah, and I find this really interesting because, as we said, 5 is about change. It's about chaos. It's about moving in new directions. And as far as all eclipse points tend to bring us new things. They tend to bring changes our way. They tend to bring big changes as well for some people, depending on how it's hitting you. So I find that really interesting. And the fact that we're going into 2021, which is a 5-year, I kind of feel like this is going to be a bit of a prelude to the energy that we're going to be experiencing that's going to unfold over the sort of the next 12 months of 2021. So yeah,
and that's a big thing too, because like with the eclipse cycles in general, with the new moon and full moon cycles, you'll see like a smaller culmination at the new moon and the full moon for that month, right? But you'll see a larger culmination when you have the full moon about 6 months out in that same sign. And with the eclipses, that's especially true because this is a longer 18-month cycle. And so each time you're going to have that coming back around. So the actual like big culmination of what's happening right now, what's being seeded, what you're kind of having floating around in the ethers for you, that's going to come May 26th or around May 26th when we have a total blood moon eclipse in Sagittarius. So this is like the beginning of a much larger cycle. This is the first total solar eclipse we've had in 18 months, you guys. So this is a big one. This is like the catapulting us into that Sagittarius, Gemini paradigm.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So let's have a look at this in terms of some of the cards, right? So we would have the Sun card. We would obviously have the Moon card for Luna, wherever she is, there she is. And then we would also have the Temperance card. So the way that this plays out through the tarot, you have the Sun card, that's for the solar energy. You have the Moon card, that's for the lunar energy. So, and these cards obviously very differing energies. The Sun card is life, heat, vitality, joy, vibrancy, all of those things. And, some of those even tap into that Sag energy. But then the Moon card has us kind of glancing back to the past and asking ourselves, what is coming with me? What are my fears? What are the things that are holding me back? But what are the things that I want to create? And as in astrology, when the moon and the sun come together, this is a point of creation, right? Like you said, of seeding sort of seeding ideas and stuff. You add to that then the Temperance card, right? So can you see the balance there? Like the two cups, one up, one down, and then you get this idea of blending energies, bringing things into alignment, let's say. So what I'm going to do with the Temperance card, pop it in the middle there. This is about balancing your solar and your lunar energies. This is about finding a way to fuse your past with your future, where it is that you see yourself going, what it is that you want to create, or what it is that you're trying to bring all of your energies into alignment with. This is a moment of possibility for that.
Yeah, absolutely. So are you going to be pulling cards for the general energy now?
Absolutely. So let's get into it. What I would like to do is pull cards for all 12 signs. So I'm going to do the tarot aspect, and then Heather's going to talk about the astrology. I really want to see if it kind of meshes for each sign, or if it doesn't, like see, you know, what's the crack, as they say. So as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help all of you wonderful people on your paths to your highest vibrational good. So we're going to start with Aries, and we'll go straight in. So you'll get two cards. One card is from a deck of separated majors, and this is going to be your destiny card. And then you'll get a card from a full deck, which is going to be your direction card. All right, so for Aries, your destiny card is the Fool. New things, places, people, and energy coming up. But this could also be some sort of powerful insight or realization that could come up for you. What this also suggests to me as well is that there's something that you've been thinking about doing that you're now going to have almost like a fire underneath your tush to kind of get started on. It's going to be like an internal push or drive that takes you forward, that will have you kind of saying, right, okay, you know what? I feel like I need to do this now. And as your direction card, to back it up or to flesh it out, you have the Queen of Wands, right? So that's really interesting to me. For all of you Aries people, your Queen of Wands could literally be an aspect or an archetype of yourself, because remember, the Queen of Wands is a fire sign person. So this would be a Leo, an Aries, or a Sagittarius. And the fact that it comes up with the Fool card, this could be about you setting a really clear boundary. It could see you really starting to say to yourself, no, I have to be firm on what it is that I'm standing for. It could see you maybe even setting some, maybe a new intention, but it would be more like you moving towards your desires. And this is going to come from like a really deep place. It will be almost like it could be like a spiritual download, but it's going to be something that's more visceral than that, something that's really going to push you forward to say, yes, I have to do this now, or no, that person or this thing doesn't have any longer any space in my life anymore. So Heather, talk to us about the astrology. How does it back it up?
Oh my God, it backs it up like perfectly. So I already recorded my weekly forecast that I do on Saturdays. That's being posted tomorrow. One of the things I talked about for Aries, and I have my little, poorly drawn aspect wheel here. One of the things I talked about for Aries is that, so Mars has been in your sign for about 6 months almost now, but it's been super, super strange. So Mars is the ruler of Aries, right? And Aries is a sign that wants to move forward. You want to do what you want when you want to do it. But Saturn has been saying, no, you have to wait. You have to take your time. There's been a lot of frustration, a lot of delay, a lot of hard work to create the right foundations before you move forward. This eclipse is actually in a near perfect trine with Mars in the sign of Aries. So this is like a launching point or an initiation point for Aries in particular, to actually start moving forward with something for the first time in a very long time. It's like something that's been building, and such like frustration that's been building around a certain, it could really be anything in your life, anything that's associated with your goals, your direction in life, your personal volition. And it has to be backed up with your integrity. This is, in your 9th house of your beliefs, your perspective on life, the moral and ethical value systems that frame your reality. This is coming from a place of higher knowledge, higher wisdom, or what you've learned through your own actual personal experience. And so for Aries, this is a time where For some of the other signs, I would say don't just jump into something right now because it is the new moon. It is an eclipse. You need to feel it out. But for Aries, I think that this is a time where you're going to be like kind of getting a running start here. And you're not going to feel as confused. You're not going to feel as ambivalent as some of the other signs with that Neptune T-square, because Mars is what's really being highlighted.
Love that. Love it. Especially with the Queen of Wands. There's nothing wishy-washy about her at all. She sees what she wants, she knows what she wants, and she just goes after it. There's like no holding back. And with the power of the Fool behind it, it's kind of like, yeah, you know what, I'm ready to go. I'm, you know, out of the gate, as they say. Yeah. I love that. I thought that was brilliant. Thank you so much. All right, let's get into it for Taurus. So I've got a selection of decks here. I'm going to keep switching between them. So, if I don't throw them all over the place. All right, so for Taurus, for your destiny card, you have the Strength card, right? So this is asking you to tap into your heart space. It's asking you to delve deep on what it is that you really want in that deeper part of you. And it's going to see you really focused on that in a lot of ways as well. This kind of feels to me like you're digging deep within yourself to either find some personal buried treasure or to bring something back into the fold. It's kind of like, you know, almost like finding your courage to go after something that maybe before you kind of held back on, or maybe something that you said to yourself, maybe it's not the right time, or maybe I don't have the ... And then all of a sudden you realize, no, hang on a sec, I've got what I need on the internal level. It's time to do this. And then to couple that as your direction card, you have, one more, the Justice card, right? So the time of waiting has come to an end. The time for commitment to what your heart and soul truly wants from you is here, right? The Justice card is that card of commitment. It's where you sign on the dotted line. It's where you say, yes, you know what, I'm doing this. I'm going to put my heart and soul into it. And with the Strength card there backing it up, this is about a lot of you Taurians maybe even tapping into that Taurus energy to say, you know what, I know this is going to be a slog, but okay, I'm doing it. You know, it's kind of like you're not afraid of that work. So yeah, I'm excited. Heather, talk to us.
So weird. Like, how are you doing this? So for the Taurus forecast, basically, what's going on here is that the eclipse itself and this trine to Mars, they're happening in the 8th and the 12th houses. These are the hidden houses, that realms of the subconscious. These are where things are going on behind the scenes. And this is an area where you have to dig deep and pull something from within to initiate something new. What I said in my forecast that you're going to hopefully watch tomorrow still. I mean, I talked about other things too, like Jupiter and Saturn moving into Aquarius. So it's not just this. But one of the things that I mentioned was that Taurus people are going to feel obsessed with creating something new or launching something or initiating something behind the scenes, because this is that 8th house energy, which is fixation and obsession. And it's going to be something that's in alignment with their belief systems or value systems on a deeper level. There's going to be a deeper meaning to it. But yeah, that's like spot on. I would say for for Taurus, the only hang up is that your friends and public opinion can get in the way of you reaching for what you want to reach for, or launching into or starting what you want to start kind of behind the scenes. And so you have to kind of step away from that and just trust your instincts.
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah, brilliant. If you guys haven't already subscribed to Heather's channel, please go over, because every week she literally smashes like the astrology and what I love about it as well, it's always stuff that you can actually use. Like, it's not so, you know, like so far in the realm of sort of out there, like you can really use it. So thank you. Taurus, you heard it there. All right. For Gemini, let's get into it. For your destiny card, you have the Judgment card. All right. Oh, I just got a little shiver there. All right. So your Judgment card, in a lot of ways, this is something that is now really coming to an absolute completion or a culmination. Now, in a lot of ways, the Judgment card always brings you a blast from the past. This is someone or something that comes up, smacks you square between the eyes, and you're like, how the how the hell, like where did this person or this thing from my past come from? And the Judgment card always does that. Like, one of the things that I love about it, and I say this to everyone, sometimes it brings you something to be assimilated. So it's definitely, you know, a lesson learned or something where you can close that cycle down properly, or it will bring you something that you're supposed to reconnect to. And your Judgment card is very, very powerful. So the past could be coming to knock this week, and it might see you really surprised at maybe who or what is knocking. So let's flesh it out with a direction card and see what comes up. Okay, so you've had one jump out the bottom of the deck, and it is literally the Moon card, right? So look at that. The Moon represents the past. The Moon represents all of your I wouldn't say so much your hopes and your desires, but definitely some of your maybe old fears, maybe the things that you haven't completely processed or let go of. You couple that with the Judgment card. Now, this could be quite intense for you guys, I have to say that. Remember, the Moon card can sometimes bring a little bit of confusion. And so if you do find yourself having a moment where you're thinking, okay, I'm moving forward, why the hell is this thing or this person or whatever coming back? Like, this is not the ideal time for that. Maybe, just maybe, it's to show you where you haven't closed the cycle down as well as you'd hoped, or as much as you'd hoped. Heather, talk to us.
I don't know how you're doing this. You're magic.
No, it's your astrology is so on point. That's why.
Well, tarot is super cool. It's just, it always boggles my mind. But so the eclipse is happening in the 7th house for Geminis, and it's a south node eclipse. And so one of the big energies, well, there's two different sides of this. So you're going to be letting go and wrapping up and cutting loose relationships that no longer serve you, that their karma has sort of played itself out, or dynamics in relationships or cycles, or like old types of energies and relationships that no longer serve you. New relationships that come in are going to have a past life association. These are going to be people that you already linked up with, or already had maybe a plan, or you needed to reconnect with in this lifetime. And so that's going to be part of the energy as well. This is all about endings and new beginnings in transition in relationships specifically, which is interesting with that Judgment card. And then obviously Neptune is in the mix. And for Geminis in particular, that's going to be especially problematic because you're not going to be able to see what's going on very clearly. You're going to have misguided judgments about like the people that you're associating with and interacting with in relationship on both ends of the spectrum. You'll see what you want to see. And that could be that you see them as like, you know, wonderful guru, you know, beautiful people, but that could also be that you see them, you know, as kind of a negative projection of what you're experiencing or what you think about them too. So you're not, your own perception is what's clouding your judgment, or, you know, you could be deceived a little bit in relationships right now, but this is really, yeah, it's a lot about that.
Wow. Wow. Do you know what's really interesting about that as well? With the Judgment card, this can literally be like ancestral patterns and energies that come through. So from literally lifetimes before. So I love that you mentioned that. That's really, really cool. All right. So for Cancer, moon sign. I'm like, what's going on here? All right. Let's have a look. See. For your destiny card, you get the Empress. So this is great, right? In a lot of ways, there's lots of thoughts at the moment about abundance. There's a lot of thoughts right now about maybe even the way that you come across to people. So this could be about like literally the way that you look, maybe wanting to change something about your appearance. There a lot of this as well with your Empress card. This can be about the things that you truly find beauty in or with, and this could see that evolving for you at the moment as well. I mean, especially because it's an eclipse energy, and the Empress always says to you, what do you want to grow? This is the time for you to put that energy into something, and that's the way that you're going to get the best results out of it. And it also says as well, when it comes to your physical being, are you nourishing and nurturing yourself in the right ways? And then to couple that, or to add to it and flesh it out, your direction card is, okay, the Lovers card. All right, so for some of you, this can literally be about relationships, partnerships, and connections. And in a lot of ways, it means that they're kind of blessed. There's a real sense of harmony that can come in for you from this. And what I always say to people as well is this card doesn't always just represent relationships. It also represents choices. It represents the decisions that we need to make. And this coupled with the Empress, this is lovely because in a way, you're choosing maybe your partnership, maybe you're choosing your collaborators, maybe you're choosing your relationship, but this is about you saying, this is what I want to enhance. This is where I want to put my heart and soul into effectively. What I love most about the Lovers card as well, it tends to see you really checking out what your options actually are. And in a lot of ways with that Empress card, it's kind of like, you know what are my options to grow here? How can I expand?
So super interesting because this full moon, or this new moon eclipse is happening in the 6th house for Cancers, which has to do with health and nutrition and the way that you're nourishing and taking care of your body for sure. So that's a big theme. The 6th house is also the house of like the day-to-day activities and sort of mundane things that you do overall to maintain your physical existence. So this is the work that you do to earn money, to build your career. This is the day-to-day habits you do every single day. This is how you feed yourself, how you exercise, how you take care of your body. This is all of these things. And that's really what you're going to be looking at, letting go of negative habits that are preventing you from taking care of your body in the best possible way, and negative habits that are way, past you when it comes to taking on too much for other people. And also anything that is not in alignment with your biggest goals and plans for your career that you are doing on a day-to-day level, you're going to be kind of transforming that, letting go, and starting something new in pursuit of those goals. And the other thing that was really interesting that you mentioned was the emphasis on appearance and on relationships. The Neptune energy is where that comes into play. And actually, Neptune in that T-square is mitigated for Cancers, and it's actually coming across in a very positive way, which has to do with their persona, the way that they show up in the world, potentially their appearance. They're going to feel much more intuitive, much more compassionate, much more loving, and their relationships are going to take on that energy too, where they're going to feel much more connected and much more, it's like a spiritual connection in relationships, where it's going to be like a dreamy sort of, romantic energy for a lot of people.
Wow. I mean, there you go, guys. Seriously, like, wow. Yeah, that's amazing. What I love about this as well is like literally when you see the Lovers, so the Lovers, the choice, and then the Empress, the choice to nurture or the choice to nourish. And, finally doing that for yourself. So I'm sure you Cancerian people out there will probably be very happy to hear that. The astrology sounds immense for them as well.
Yeah.
All right. So for Leo, my ascendant brothers and sisters, please be good. All right. Let's see. For our Destiny card, we also have the Strength card. What's really interesting about this is obviously the Strength card is the card that represents the sign of Leo. So although the meanings are quite similar, the energy for this card, in terms of it being that you're almost like your patron, it suggests that this is about you coming to the fore in a way that you really are. Maybe in a lot of ways, this could be you finding your funny again, maybe being able to laugh without feeling restricted, maybe even tapping into that energy of saying, yeah, you know what? I remember that I live from this space. I remember that I walk from this space. It's almost like, in a way, it's kind of like reminding you who you are. And I really, really like that for us, because in a lot of ways, it suggests that almost like finding the courage to be yourself once more. So wherever that was kind of dampened, you're able to pick that sort of energy back up again. All right, let's see what our direction card is. Okay, and we get the 7 of Pentacles. This, for me, I really feel like this is almost like us saying, you know what, I know I'm a work in progress and I'm totally happy with that. Right? And it's almost like you're going to be enjoying the journey towards what and who you envision yourself to be. That 7 of Pentacles is like, yes, I'm going to do the work. And you know what? It finally doesn't feel like work. It just feels like, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Even the parts of it that maybe feel challenging, or even the spaces and places within your life that you've put so much effort into previously but had no result from, this is where you're going to start to see it. So as this eclipse unpacks, we're going to start to like move into more of that energy. and really start to see the results from it. Ooh, Heather, talk to us.
So Leos are getting some really nice energy from this eclipse for the most part, because especially if you're a Leo sun, moon, or rising at the middle to end degrees of Leo, I was saying anywhere from 16 to 26 degrees because of the lunar nodes and Mars and all that, you're going to have a grand trine between the eclipse, Mars, and your ascendant sun or moon. And this is a time where you are going to be feeling super lit up and super passionate to fulfill your destiny, to do the things that you want to do because you want to do it, to like start something new based on your own interests, your own volitions, your own passions, and also based on your own integrity and a higher perspective that you're getting on things. And so it's kind of like your beliefs are motivating you to do this. It's not necessarily coming from a place of necessity or coming from a place of like, I have to work really hard to make money or whatever it is. You're doing something because you believe in it and because you are deeply and truly passionate about it with that fifth house energy as well. And this is a wonderful time for Leos to launch into anything. And like you said that with the strength card, like they're going to have the strength, they're going to have the stamina and the determination and like the drive to really make things happen because of that passion and because their beliefs are behind what they're doing.
Love it. Yeah, I'll take that all day long. Oh, absolutely. Wow, thank you. All right, so for Virgos, your turn. Let's see what comes up. All right, for your destiny card, you get the Justice card. This is about commitment, but it's not like commitment to everything and everything and everyone that everything and anything that everyone else needs. It's about what you need. And the Justice card is seeing you make decisions and make commitments based on what those things are. What do you want? What do you need? Where do you see yourself going? And this could, in a lot of ways as well, this could see you guys signing some sort of a contract that really cements either your maybe your standing in the world in some regard, or something that you have wanted for a long time could now make itself known, something that you've always kind of envisioned being part of your life, and it's like now you can commit to it and you can have it, right? It's here. And because it's the Justice card as well, this suggests that whatever it is that you sign for, whatever it is that you commit to now, it's yours, no take backs. There's nothing or no one that can say, oh, well, you know, like it's like, boom, this is mine and it's mine alone. I love it. Let's see, okay, what your direction card is to flesh it out. And for that, you get, wow, you get the King of Wands, right? So this is powerful. Let's start there. The King of Wands is about you being seen. And I mentioned this in one of my previous videos. And I really like this. In a lot of ways, I feel like Virgos are almost getting some of that leonine energy, like they're coming to the fore. These are the people that are going to be noticed because they're the ones that have been in the background, working hard, you know, playing all the supporting roles. And it's like, hang on a sec, yeah, without those people, we wouldn't have been able to create any of what we've done. This is about you guys coming into the fore. It's about you being seen in a lot of ways. And look at this, coupled with the Justice card, this is about you making some of the big decisions that are going to affect things on a practical level, on, you know, especially on a professional level for a lot of you guys. This is going to see you really come into the fore, whether you work for somebody else, whether you work for yourself, even if you're retired, in some way, shape or form, what you do and how you show up in the world is going to be noticed. And the beauty of that is the rewards are there. Remember, the King of Wands is, you know, not only is it all of that, it's also a really fun card. So it's going to see you committing to enjoying your life more.
Yeah. So for Virgos, it's really, I mean, this is a big energy because it's a mutable sign and this is happening in the mutable signs. And so especially for Virgos, the configuration here of the T-square to Neptune is going to be making a grand cross with the Virgo ascendant, sun, or moon, especially if you have your ascendant, sun, or moon anywhere from 16 to 26 degrees-ish. But really all Virgos are going to be feeling this. And so basically this is a big major change or transformation that's impacting your home, your family, your roots, or it's stemming from a need to change something about your roots in order to create what you want to create out in the world externally in your career and in your public standing. So there's something that needs a reset behind the scene. It could be your relationship with your family members. It could be your home environment in general. There could be something that you're doing to create a better work-life balance. Maybe you're working from home or something like that. Definitely contracts, agreements, negotiations can be a part of this, and really faded sort of karmic energies around those types of themes can be coming up. So you might have a contract, it might feel faded. You're going to feel ambivalence though toward agreements and toward potentially basically anything that's coming in from somebody else. There could be some confusion or some ambivalence around it because of that Neptunian energy, where either you're going to be seeing what you want to see, maybe you don't feel ambivalent, but it's not going to turn out exactly the way you want it to, or there is that uncertainty or that ambivalence. This is a time where you have to really trust your intuition and not be so Virgoan about it. Like, this is your mental state, or like the way that you think about it on a logical sort of linear level, it's not going to make sense. And so that's where Virgos are going to get really stuck with this. But yeah, absolutely. This is a time where they're completely changing everything in order to pursue what they need to be pursuing out in the world, because it's in alignment with their destiny, with their path, with what their soul needs to grow and evolve.
Love it. Love it. So one of the messages when you get the Justice card, remember it's got that sort of Libran energy to it. So I guess one of the messages that you could take from this, Virgos, is try to keep one foot in this world and put the other foot in all of that, so that you don't lose that sort of grounded Virgo energy, but you are tapping into something other at the same time.
Yeah. And don't try to plan everything. Like, be okay with uncertainty, because you're going to have uncertainty for sure, especially Virgos.
Okay, awesome. All right, leads us nicely onto Libra. Let's have a look at your destiny card for this eclipse. You have the Chariot, right? So it looks like a lot of you guys are really full steam in ahead. And in a lot of ways, what I really like about this for you, it brings that kind of, you know what, let me speed this up. It's almost like whatever lag that you had before, you're ready to start pushing forward. And in a lot of ways, when we talk about victory and success, it always suggests that there's already been something for you to overcome. So this eclipse is really going to see you getting over that last tip of the mountain, right? You're on the downward stretch now. So if you were like a skier or something, you'd be on the slope on the way down, which is brilliant. The other thing as well, for those of you that are maybe studying or have anything like that going on, this suggests you pass with flying colors, but you've got to stay on target. For your direction card, how we flesh this out, you have, all right, so you've got the Devil card. All right, so you're full steam in ahead, and then you have the Devil card that kind of says, okay, well, where is it that you might need to not necessarily even check yourself, but where is it that you might need to, like, if you were going swimming, you wouldn't go with a pack of rocks on your back. So what is it that you need to let go of now in order for that full speed to come ahead? What I really like about this is the, you know, like the roller coaster motif. Like if you're at the front, you have to wait for the back to come over to really get the traction. And so that Devil card is asking you, what are your holdups? What are your hang-ups? And more importantly, where are the overindulgences getting in your way? And that doesn't even have to be like, you know, like drugs or alcohol or anything like that. It can be like a thought process. It can be an inability to get past something or to release something on an emotional level. So Libras, this can be a really powerful time for you, but I kind of feel like it's that moment where you're going to have to put aside the Libran do I or don't I, and just do, right? And what that comes with is a release of some sort.
So for Libras, this is like the first period where they're finally getting good energy, especially when it comes to the like bigger transits and things like that. And this eclipse is actually impacting them in a positive way. So basically what's going on here is that Jupiter and Saturn are actually shifting out of Capricorn, where they've been really, really hounding Libras and like really making things feel hard. And then this eclipse is actually going to be sextiling their ascendant sun or moon and trining the descendant for Libra rising people. And so this is a period where it's like you're finally, like you said, it's like you've just overcome so much and you're starting something new at the same time. So there is this point of release. And the point of release, especially for Libras, is going to have to do with this eclipse, with your mindset. So letting go of thoughts and ideas and like these mental, sort of rigid, self-righteous sort of mental paradigms that no longer serve you. So that way you can move on to something bigger and better and more in alignment with what you truly value, with what you truly need. And there is definitely going to be some difficulty or some ambivalence, and there could be some confusion or difficulty that stems from the way that you take care of yourself on a day-to-day basis, maybe the steps to getting to where you need to go, because your day-to-day life is kind of all over the place or very like kind of hazy or confusing. Like there's a confusing energy around how to get to where you need to go. And also, like you said, you know, habits that can be negative, especially addictive habits or habits that you do to escape from reality because you don't want to deal with what's going on, because things have been so hard or such a struggle for Libras. And that could very literally be physical addictions, and definitely drugs and alcohol can be a part of that. So anything that you're putting into your body that is considered, you know, potentially a poison, you should definitely be moving away from that. And it could even be like a food thing, like you're eating foods that you know make you feel like garbage and your mental clarity isn't there. And then you're not able to actually, you know, move forward with your plans or to think about these things in a clear way. That's going to be a big thing for Libras too.
Wow. But that's actually mind-blowing. Thank you. So what I find really interesting about that as well, just to kind of riff off of that for a little, whatever got you to this point will take you no further. So whatever your crutches were that helped you kind of, you know, like get through the day or, you know, get past this energy, it's brought you to this point. Now that you have that sort of clear, open road, free shot, take it for that and leave whatever got you to this point, because it's not going to take you any further.
Absolutely.
Wow. Okay, so for Scorpios, let's have a look to see what's going on for you guys. All right. For your destiny card, you have... Wow, you guys get the Wheel of Fortune. All right, so you got some really interesting energy here. So this definitely tells me that there are not only better times ahead for you, but it actually looks like you're going to really start to come into this understanding that nothing has been personal. It's all been driving towards a specific moment or a specific experience. Remember, the Wheel of Fortune is a very benevolent card. It always kind of tells us that something is swinging in our favor, and it actually represents Jupiter. So this card can very often bring us a synchronicity. It can bring us a moment or an invite of some sort that comes very suddenly. And at first it might kind of seem like, wow, that was random. And then as it transpires, you think, wow, this is because of what I did, you know, 6 months ago, 8 months ago, 10 months, whatever. I love this as a destiny card for you as well, because it suggests to me that there is almost like a guardian angel energy there, but it's not going to be, it's not something that you should rely on and think, oh, you know what, I'll take this really hazardous sort of course of action and, you know, the universe will have my back. It's more a case of doing what you do and just knowing that it's going to work out. All right. It's kind of like, don't tempt fate, because fate's already working in your favor. And then as your direction card to flesh it out, you have, wow, the Queen of Pentacles. There you go. So this is going to be about your finances. This is a boost to the finances for sure. It's a boost to your monies. What I really, really like. What I like about this as well, it suggests that whatever is coming in is going to last. It's not a flash in the pan energy. It's not, because the Queen of Pentacles, she's grounded, she's practical, she's severe even. But I tell you what, nothing gets past her gaze, and she knows how to create. She knows how to make something real. It's like, I always say this about the earth signs in particular, but especially the Queen of Pentacles card. This represents someone that you could say, here's a £10 note. They'd come back to you and say, there's a 1,000 in a stack. Like they know how to take something and turn it into something so much bigger and greater. And with the Wheel of Fortune there, this is it's not just luck and abundance and success. It's the kind of thing that I don't want to say, because I really hate being fatalistic, but it's not like it will never come again. But you might look back over your life and say, wow, that was so big that, I'm not sure if I'll ever get another one like that. So I'm really excited for you guys. And it's nice to give you guys good news, because I know it's been a little while.
So that's hilarious. So obviously, so for this eclipse, it's happening in Sagittarius, which is going to be Scorpio's second house of finances. And so eclipses always bring fated, karmic, synchronistic happenings that are meant to kind of pull you into your destiny in the area that it's showing up. And so for Scorpio, that's happening in the second house. So this is going to be some sort of financial transformation or a new beginning related to your finances. And this is showing up positively because we have this Mars energy that's going to motivate you to do what you need to do on a day-to-day basis in order to get there, in order to make it happen. There can definitely be an opportunity that comes up, and that can kind of catapult you forward financially. And you're going to know it when it's the thing, because it's going to feel like, okay, this is weird. This is like happening in this very strange, synchronistic way that's beyond coincidence. And that's going to get you going, but it's going to take your day-to-day efforts. It's going to take your ambition, your drive, your actual like willpower to carry it forward, which is that Mars energy. And even the Neptune energy for Scorpios is lining up really nicely, because it's going to be trining your ascendant sun or moon, sextiling your descendant. And so you can actually have weird occurrences that also come about in a way that's like strange, or it feels like otherworldly, that connects you with the right people, right? That's that energy with the descendant. Or it just kind of like comes to you, like in your imagination, you have a vision or some sort of like impression, and that guides you in the right direction.
Love it. That like everything you described there, that's Wheel of Fortune stuff.
Yeah.
It's out there. It's like a big blessing or a synchronicity that comes from elsewhere. Love it. That's fantastic. All right. So for Saggies, and I know there's a few of you here tonight who have probably been patiently waiting for this one. So let's see what's in store for you guys. For your destiny card, you have the High Priestess. All right. So in a lot of ways, something big is about to be revealed for you. This could be your intuition finally switching on, or going from where it is to a completely new level. This could be you uncovering something. Like for a lot of you, the word that I'm hearing is like invention or discovery. This could see you like literally discovering something brand new, something that nobody else has done before. It could see you really sort of like uncovering something, maybe something, like when you think of ancient technology, like it hasn't been seen for so long, but then when it comes out, it's like, this is weird. This is like magic. Do you know what I mean? Like it could be something like that. Your intuition is going to be fire over this time. So really pay attention to what comes up for you. And especially if it comes in a dream, High Priestess, which is all about those impressions or those gut feelings or hunches. If it bubbles up from the subconscious, that's something that you can, that's a message for you. So let's see what your direction card is to give it some flesh. All right. Ooh, okay. Wow. And you've got the Hierophant card. I mean, this is desires made real. In a lot of ways, it's about you bringing something from that spiritual otherworldly realm and making it real. Remember, the Hierophant is the status quo. It's the government. It's the stuff that we call the terra firma, right? So it's like whatever you're bringing from that liminal space, whatever you're discovering or rediscovering or uncovering, you're bringing into the real world. And in a lot of ways, this can see you guys as well. I think you and Virgo actually share this energy where you could start to become a household name. You could start to be known for something that you do or something that you want to bring to the world. What I also like about this as well, when it comes to people that are in positions of power that you're connected to or so like your boss or something like that, you could have sway over them. So this is a power that you want to use. You know, they say with great power comes great responsibility. If you're the person whispering into the ear of the person that's in control, effectively you have that same control. So what you do with that, use it well. This is a time where you could put something out or put the right word in the right place, and then one day stand back and say, wow, look what I did for the world. Really powerful stuff. Heather, talk to us, please.
Well, so this is obviously happening in Sagittarius, right? So this is going to be impacting Sagittarius more so than any of the other signs. And because, you know, the first house is an angular house, this is going to be impacting Sagittarius personally, professionally, at their roots and in their relationships. But the thing that I love that you said was like, it's like you're uncovering an ancient technology because this is Sagittarius rediscovering themselves at a very core level, or rediscovering something about themselves from the past, like a talent or a gift or some sort of knowledge that they hold from a previous lifetime. It could literally be like an ancient knowledge or an ancient technology that like comes through a Sagittarius person, but it's definitely an innate talent or gift that you might not even know where this is coming from. You might not even know where these ideas are coming from, but they're coming from a space of like something you've literally already accomplished and mastered. And you're going to feel so passionate and so excited and so lit up about whatever it is that you are doing, Sagittarius, because Mars is in your 5th house. That's the house of play, joy, fun. That is the house of creative self-expression. This is going to also enhance your ability to connect with the right people who can help you on your journey and pull you in the right direction. And this would be a great time to launch or initiate into something new with somebody in partnership, because that's a big part of this focus too. But great energy for Sagittarius. The only hang up is maybe there's some ambivalence or fear from the past, especially due to early kind of childhood situations, or, you know, connections with the parents, connections with the family, or maybe something going on in your home environment that could be causing you to feel a little uncertain. But for the most part, you're going to be feeling, I think, more decisive than a lot of the other signs around anything that you're going to be doing, because it's going to be like, this feels weirdly right. But why? I've never done this before.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, love that. It's interesting as well, because obviously the High Priestess can be hidden things revealed. So maybe something about your family unit, or the maybe even as well, you know, could come through. Definitely, there might be something that comes from the past that is revealed to you. For others of you, and you know, I love you, Saggies. But for others of you, if you've ever had any brushes with the law, etc., in the past, maybe those indiscretions kind of come forward. And I don't think it's going to be like in a devastating way. It could just be something that makes you say, right, okay, well, that's who I was then. This is who I am now. Do you know what I mean? And you're able to make that distinction, which is brilliant. If you've got any legal things that are wrapping up for you, this is really great, because it suggests it will culminate in your favor. And I also feel like as well, because this is the Sagittarius Eclipse, I get this feeling, because obviously the Hierophant card can be law and government and stuff. Maybe we'll be seeing something about laws, legislations, etc., unfolding over the next 6 months.
Oh, I'm sure we will.
Yeah.
You don't even need to have tarot cards or be an astrologer to.
For sure. All right, so Capricorn, let's get into it for you guys. Let's see what your destiny card is. And you guys have the Emperor. All right, so in a lot of ways, this is about you guys finally putting your foot down. Now, this is really interesting to me, because I know Capricorn as a sign is quite strong-minded anyway, but I get this feeling that over the last, 2020, you know, they've kind of lost their footing a bit. And this Emperor card coming up, I think in a lot of ways, it's going to help you redefine yourself. And I think this is going to be you almost like taking life by the reins. And it's going to see you saying, you know what, I'm going to do this in a way that actually feels good to me. And more importantly, I'm going to do this by a new set of rules. right? So it's not like you're breaking any rules or doing it, but it's like, no, the rules that I had previously, they don't work for this moment. I need to recreate this. And for some of you, I actually feel like you might either launch into some sort of study, maybe start delving into something. And for some of you, this could be about, I don't want to say going back to school, but almost like in a way, it could be something more practical than that. Do you know what I mean? Like you could be saying, right, okay, you know what? I don't know enough about this to make the decision that I want to make. So, you know, you're doing what you can to gather more info. And then for your direction card, you have the Knight of Pentacles, right? So that's actually your energy, Cappies. This is, I mean, for me, this is a very Capricornian energy. And this is about that sort of long determination sort of climb, right? But you couple it with the Emperor, and this is going to see you really saying to yourself, no, I've already mastered that. This is why I'm seeking something new, because I've already done that. It's almost like in a lot of ways, I think a lot of you are going to start to, you know, like stick theory, and they say like if someone beat you with a stick for so long and then they stop, you'd pick it up and start doing it to yourself. This is the end of that, where you've kind of stopped yourself from doing something because of old rules, because of old not regulations, but old, maybe even old sort of beliefs. This is going to be you placing that down and saying, you know what, that doesn't work for me anymore. What I also like with that Knight of Pentacles as well, it will see you really paying attention to what the practical steps are that you need to make right now. And coupled with the Emperor, I think you'll be really determined about it.
Okay, so for Capricorn, this is happening in the 12th house, right? And so the 12th house is the house of endings, wrapping things up, clearing out old karma, like letting go of old cycles, that type of thing. It's also like a subconscious energy, and it's more of an internalized, like solitary energy. But this is happening in the sign that has to do with beliefs. And so this is going to be a big major purge of all outdated belief systems and ideologies that are no longer serving you, that are just like causing you to kind of get bogged down, or they're causing like loss or some sort of struggle or something like that. And you're like, but there's a need to let go of something. There's a need to let go of a mindset around something or a belief system. And there's also going to be a need for kind of turning inward and contemplation, so that way you can figure out the practical steps that you need to take in order to move into what you're doing outwardly, because the North Node on the opposite end of this is in the sign of Gemini in the 6th house. And so this is about a practical application of something, but you need to move past a lot of old ideals and a lot of old situations and old karma in order to get there. But there's an energy of ambivalence or uncertainty. Like there's something going on around your mindset or your mental clarity where you're not clear on what action steps to take, or like you might need to actually go back and get some additional education in order to move forward with your plans and with your goals. But this is going to be a lot more about ending things, so that way you can move into what it is that you're doing in a practical sort of way. And maybe even taking a break or taking a vacation. Like you might be forced to take a break or take time out right now. And that's going to give you the space you need to figure things out and sort through your mindset around everything.
Wow, that's immense. Yeah, love that. Love that. And the Knight of Pentacles is definitely like on that more practical level. Amazing. All right, so for Aquarius, my sun sign brothers and sisters, let's see what your destiny card is. All right, so you have the Moon card. All right, so lots of glancing over things, right? Lots of looking at the past in a lot of ways. But also, I think this could be a moment where you're not okay with the confusion, but it's more a case of like you're okay with understanding what your personal fears are. And rather than sort of letting those trip you up, this is a moment where you can look at them and say, yeah, okay, I see that that's there, but you know what, I can sidestep that now. In a lot of ways as well, I really get the sense that there is, because remember, Moon card, it's the past, right? So someone or something could be coming back into the fold. Someone or something could be almost like showing up in a way that makes you kind of go, hey, I was just thinking about you. And then boom, you know, like they show up. It's the Moon card after all. What I will say to you though, is this is going to be I almost like feel like this is going to be you being able to look at the past as if it were looking through a window. So it's not like right here in your face, making you feel like, oh, you know, I can't believe this is happening. It's going to see you kind of looking at it in more of an Aquarian way, like in more detached sort of energy. So, oh, okay, it's jumped out. So we've got the Strength card. All right. So coupled with the Moon, yeah, you know, this in a lot of ways, this could be someone or something that you had either a lot of love for, or someone or something that you had a lot of care for. In some ways as well, some of you, because the word that I'm hearing in my mind at the moment is hobby. This could be something that you used to do, something that you used to love that you're now picking back up. And in a lot of ways, because it is the Strength card, this could be something that you told yourself, oh, you, like as an example, and this is a bad example because I know it's not going to happen, but I used to dance. So this could be maybe running into somebody that I used to dance with and saying, oh, you know, and they say, look, there's a class coming up. Do you want to come? You could be like, yeah, all right, why not? It's not, you know, maybe you're not going to go back into it professionally or anything, but it could just be something that you pick back up, something that you really loved that excited you, and you could find reconnections because of it. And then with that Strength card there as well, because we do have the Moon card there, this could see you really starting to understand what some of your personal fears are, maybe from your own childhood, maybe from your own experiences in relationships, how and where they've colored things for you.
Yeah, so I love that because this eclipse is happening for Sagittarius, or not Sagittarius, for Aquarius in Sagittarius in the 11th house, which is the house of friendship and relationships. It's actually making a trine with Mars and Aries in the 3rd house, which is communication and community, and also obviously trining the descendant, which is also relationships. So there's a lot around old relationships coming back around for Aquarius, especially old friendships. And these old friendships are helping to point something out to you, like these old connections that come back around will point something out to you that you need to either reintegrate or maybe even help you to find something new that you are really passionate about. And so like literally what you just said there is a big, big part of this energy. The other thing it could be is, again, like this past life energy, right? Because this is the South Node. So this could be old connections that you don't know that you had because they didn't occur in this lifetime, but you could actually have new connections coming in with groups of people or friends or even one-on-one relationships or even a romantic partnership where it feels familiar and comfortable in a way that's just very odd. And that could be a big part of this energy. And that could be a very motivating force for you, especially when it comes to learning new hobbies, learning new skill sets, pursuing some sort of course or education, or, you know, again, there's that energy around passions and play and things that you love to do that could be brought back into the mix or developed in a new way as a result of these connections. So like literally exactly what you said.
That's mind-blowing, seriously. That's amazing, actually. Yeah, I love that. And it's funny as well, you say about connections, because at base level, what is the Strength card? It's your heart, right? It's that deep sort of part of you. So when you think about the Moon card, the past, any fears or hopes or dreams, desires that you might have around something to do with the heart, that could be somebody that you're connected to on that kind of level. Yeah, love it. All right, so for Pisces, let's get into it. I feel sorry for Pisces, you know, because they're right at the end. Everyone's like, we always have to wait so long. All right, for your destiny card, you have the Sun card. All right, so you're the only sign that pulled the Sun so far. Well done, you guys. Now, what I like about this for you, it's going to bring some sort of either creative energy in, or it's going to see you really saying to yourself, I need to start enjoying my life more. I need to start bringing that fun, that joy, that abundance, that life back in. And in a lot of ways as well, remember the Sun card speaks to, sometimes it can be travel, sometimes it can be children. And in a lot of ways, I kind of feel like this is going to be both. So this could be you making plans for some sort of travel and saying, you know what, regardless of what the energy is at the moment or the restrictions, I'm going to plan the trip that I want to take. This is going to see you almost, not saying, you know, consequences be damned, but it's going to see you kind of circumventing the experience that we're all having right now. So it's like that, I have faith that I'm going to be able to take this trip when I want to take it, which I absolutely love for you guys. And then you have your direction card, which is the Nine of Swords. So in a lot of ways, this is going to see you guys paying attention to where you beat yourself up too much. It's going to see you really getting in touch with your sleeping pattern. It's going to see you really paying attention to that. How do I get my rest? Where do I get it from? What are the things that actually make me feel good? And more importantly, why aren't I giving myself more time with those things? In a way, I kind of feel like this is you giving yourself a pep talk. And it's like, right, you know what? We know what we want. We know where we want to go. We know what we want to plan. So we're going to make this happen. And with that Nine of Swords, this kind of suggests that a lot of the things that you're starting and doing around this eclipse time, they are going to be later in the year before you start to see real results from them. So I kind of feel like it's not like with a lot of the other signs, it's kind of here and now, and we're going to see it really shape up. I do feel like Pisces is going to have to work for it a little bit more, but I definitely feel like the results and the rewards are definitely there. Just at those, and there's going to be like critical moments. I feel like it's going to be every sort of 2-3 months, you're going to get to that point where you're like, I feel like I'm banging my head against a brick wall here. And then something will give and you'll take a step forward and you'll be like, okay, now I'm doing the right thing.
I love it. Yeah. So for Pisces, they're going to be hit like again in the angular houses. This is a mutable sign. And so this is actually happening in the house of career and public reputation, but this is making a T-square to Neptune in the sign of Pisces. And so a lot of Pisces are going to be feeling extra sensitive, extra empathic, extra intuitive. They're going to be maybe feeling a little bit more down on themselves because this is an energy where Pisces already is subject to projections from other people. They can be the scapegoat for other people's negative energy. They can also be a receptacle for people's positive energy. It really depends on how that person is feeling and what their preconceived notions are. That's going to be like tenfold right now. And Pisces is going to be feeling much more ambivalent, sensitive. They might have this sort of ominous feeling like something is about to happen, but they don't really know what it is. That's going to be strongest for Pisces in particular. That energy, though, of the eclipse in the 10th house, something you said, Raphael, that just clicked for me is that this is in the 10th house and this is in the sign of Sagittarius, which rules travel. It's opposing the North Node in Gemini in the 4th house. This could bring about for some Pisces people a travel opportunity or an opportunity to connect with somebody at a distance for a work or a career related opportunity that will probably manifest more in the summer. And or it could be a move, a move related to work. So a need to change housing or change location for a work or career opportunity in order to create a better home life for yourself, though, because this isn't just about work. This is about what you're coming home to and what's going on behind the scenes and how your career affects every area of life. There's something going on with your work or with your kind of big goals and plans and what's going on externally that is not working for you anymore. It's like it's not in line with your integrity. You're feeling like icky about it. And that's causing probably a lot of the ambivalence as well. And you need to let that go and bring in something better and that's more aligned. And that's going to really improve all areas of life. Like this is a big one for Pisces.
Wow, love that. So that's right. That's that you talked about there. That's the Sun card. It's where you feel good, right? It's about what you where and how you lighten the load, which makes total sense as well. But another thing with this coupling as well, what I was saying about your sleep and your rest, it might be that more is required of you as well over this time. So, maybe not necessarily that you're not getting as much rest, but more a case of it's like quality versus quantity. Do you know what I mean? And making sure that you get those things that are good for you. I mean, this has been mind-blowing for me. Crazy, because I literally hadn't looked at any of the astrology for next week or even the eclipse, really. I haven't had time. So it's amazing how the tarot and the astrology have kind of really lined up there. Heather, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for doing this. You guys, thanks for all the sticking with us with the, the technical issues and whatnot. I want to say to you guys as well, please, please, please head over to Heather's channel, hit the subscribe button. If you haven't already seen the tarot and astrology videos that we've done, we'll be getting back to those really soon. And also, Heather, can you drop the link for your community in the chat box again?
Yeah, I will do that,
Really
guys. I
want
would
to
definitely
sign
love
up
to
for
see you
this.
guys there. And definitely, Raphael, are you still doing your Kickstarter?
I am, yes, it finishes on the 20th.
Yeah, you guys should take advantage of that. I did.
Oh, no way. Thank you so much.
My husband and I are getting readings from you, in case you
Oh.
didn't.
Awesome. I put loads of good juju in there. Oh, man, thank you so much. But yeah, guys, please, please, please head over to Heather's channel, hit the subscribe button. And if you haven't already, sign up for the community. It's going to be awesome. Heather, is there anything else that you want to say? Any other announcements?
No, I think we're good. I hope everyone has a really awesome eclipse. This is a big one. The next 2 weeks are huge, you guys. Everything that's happening is going to correspond to what's going to be coming up for you for at least the next 20 years. So pay attention.
Yeah, absolutely. Use these messages, use the amazing insights that Heather's given you with the astrology. And this is time, guys, as well. Remember when, with the eclipses, they do bring those big moments. They do bring those big shifts and changes. And, we're at the point of this eclipse, we're literally 7 days out from the Great Conjunction. So what you really want to focus on with that is your almost like treat it as a moment where you have a clean and a clear slate. Take a moment to clear your mind, to clear your heart, to clear your internal browsing history, let's say, and then refocus. What do I actually want? Where do I truly want to go? What is it that I really want to create? So that when that energy of that great conjunction hits, which we're already feeling kind of coming in now, let's say, when it actually hits, your energy, your mind, your thoughts, your intention is already in the right place to catch that energy.
Yeah, absolutely. That's literally what I just said in my forecast that I recorded. So
Awesome.
perfect.
We're in sync.